In North America, Mexico has made history by becoming the first country to allow voters to elect judges at every level. The reform will require over 1,600 judges, including Supreme Court justices, to stand for election by 2025 or 2027. Now, outgoing President Andrés Manuel López Obrador has long pushed for this change, claiming the judiciary served the interests of the political elite. However, as voting on the legislation began on Tuesday, demonstrators stormed the upper house and entered the chamber chanting the judiciary will not fall. The lawmakers were then rushed to a former Senate building where they resumed their debate as protesters shouted, "Mr. Senator, stop the dictator."
They are betraying the people, selling their votes shamefully for this reform to be approved. It is going to lead us to a dictatorship.
We are defending the republic also because they are trying to concentrate the three branches of government in one person. It is one person who wants to manipulate the three powers to have total control.
While opponents argue this move will expose judges to criminal pressure in a country where drug cartels already wield enormous influence, the outgoing Mexican president has dismissed the criticism, claiming the judicial system is at the service of white-collar crime.
The justice system in Mexico is corrupt and it is dysfunctional, but the reality is that this reform will likely only make the situation worse. It could make it easier for the government to co-opt the courts because the candidates that voters will be able to choose from will be selected by the government, Congress, and the Supreme Court. It could open the door to even more punitive populism in Mexico because it creates the possibility that judges will be taking into account not only the facts of the case when they're deciding cases, but also how every single one of their rulings could affect their chances of being reelected.
Meanwhile, the U.S. and Canada, Mexico's primary trading partners, have warned that the reforms could harm investor confidence and threaten the country's legal framework. Human rights groups have also criticized the reform, warning it could violate international standards of judicial independence. But despite the outcry, President Obrador is determined to see the reforms enacted before he leaves office in October. As tensions rise and the Supreme Court considers whether it has the power to stop the changes, one question looms. Will Mexico's judiciary stand its ground, or has the stage been set for a seismic shift?